birthday. Happy birthday to everyone else that's celebrating today. Happiest of birthday. Eat your cake today. Exercise later or tomorrow. It's your day. Do whatever you wish to do today. For those of you who continue to mourn, once again, on behalf of the entire Island Tea team and the entire WinFM family, we do send sincere sympathies, condolences, and empathies to you and your families. For those of you still in the exam mode, remember, study hard. For those of you who would have graduated already from your university or varying schools in the U.S., congratulations. If you got a promotion, you got a raise, congratulations. Celebrate heartily. And remember to be great and grateful. Just to remind you, we're being simulcast on TVC Channel 40, Facebook, YouTube. We're on your FM dial. For those of you who can catch us at 98.9, we're working on ensuring that everyone can catch us in the Federation. So bear with us as we continue to strive for that. If you wish to join in on the conversation or bring something pressing to the fore, our local number is 466-0989. In the U.S., 1-718-285-6984 or 0333440065. Biff, good morning. How are we doing this morning?
Good morning, Hortensia. How are you this morning, my dear?
I'm trying to be better than yesterday, and I just have to laugh because I already know where this is going. Folks, if y'all can see, Biff is saying I'm going to blind y'all today, but Biff has to understand, right? Hortensia has to find her coolest clothes to put on because as soon as any form of, how should I put it? Any form of heat hit me, I just start sweating. So I have to find my coolest clothes, and one of my coolest clothes happened to be mustard. And Biff is wearing the opposite color red, so he has on the color for the 9. I do not know what he's doing, but you all realize he had on the color for the 8 yesterday, and now he has on the color for the 9. So he's moving in coordination with the dates, so maybe he'll have to wear the green for the other color.
I didn't remember that today was the 9 when I pulled on this year.
You didn't?
No, I didn't think about the 9, yeah.
Yesterday you were 8 for the 8, now today you're 9 for the 9. Yeah.
And yesterday, well, you were maroon yesterday, now you're the
mustard.
yellow for the... Oh, that
I'm
is
the
mustard?
No, I'm not yellow. You had on the yellow yesterday, because if I go close to that yellow, you'll see the colors differ. Yeah, this is a mustard.
From here, they look like yellow to me.
Remember, all colors look the same to the gentlemen of the world.
Oh, yes, but you said you're trying to be, was it 3% better than yesterday?
No, yesterday was 3%. I don't know if I'm 4% because my Mount Rushmore, I added some more close to it. I didn't do anything.
Welcome to the club.
So I'm at 3%. So maybe tomorrow I'll say 4.
Well, the bright smile and the lipstick and the mustard.
What? She does not have on lipstick. All she has on is some
gloss?
I don't even want to say it's lip balm.
Okay, lip balm. Okay,
Yeah.
there's a little thing. So I know
Yeah.
normally you guys have all kind of shades of lipstick and
just
lip gloss and
clear
lip this and lip that.
It has in all kind of things to help the lips.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But you're looking lovely indeed.
Thank you. I try my best every day with the help of God to do my best.
Yeah, I think the husband is doing an excellent job. Telling you, don't wear that, wear this.
Really?
I don't know.
I am the one that puts together the husband's clothes. Ask him, he'll tell you.
The other way around.
Yeah, you know us ladies dress, y'all. When you see a couple out and you see they looking well put together, you know that lady pick out the clothes, iron the clothes, probably spray the clothes with the cologne that she likes to smell. I do that because I buy my husband's cologne too, so I decide what is worn on what time.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you run things.
Can we move on now? Why is Biff doing this to me, y'all? Is it because he has on a red shirt today?
Well, today just seems like an extra lovely day. The week has been going good so far. The month has been flying away. Today's already
All the
9th.
months are flying away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Music festival is just around the corner.
Just around the corner.
And I think you have made up your mind what shows you're going to. Which ones? Have you? What nights you're going to?
I do not know why people are going. I told you I don't do music festival.
You have to go to one of the nights, man, just to say you went.
No. And what does that benefit me?
But at least boys to men.
No, why? No. No. No.
Well,
I like Fantasia, and no.
mhm.
No.
Well,
Just,
I
just
think
not
it's
my
going to be a
thing.
wonderful
I
day
think
this
so
year.
too. I think so too. So for all who are coming to attend, kudos to you. But you know, everybody have their thing. And as I said, I don't do the big crowds. I don't. I'm not a shy person, but not the crowds. Even when I flew, after seeing maybe 300 to 400 persons a day,
How,
once I got to my destination, I stayed inside. I only came out to go to the gym, and if I needed to go in, depending on the island, if I need to go pick up toiletries, etc., etc. No more mixing up.
how
I'm
long were
done.
you a hostess?
12 years.
12?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a little piece, girl.
Yeah.
Cartens, yeah?
So after I, as I said, I'm not shy, but
Which
to
airline
each
were
his
you?
own. Liat,
Leah.
the best in the West. 1974
Mm.
Limited, that is, because there is a revamped one now.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I'm from the original.
But after all that joy and joyous greeting,
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, Wednesday,
Yes.
the funeral of the late Talissimo Davis
Okay.
up at Antioch Baptist Church.
Okay.
And the following day, Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
the official funeral of the late Elston Neo King Elimat.
Is the 11th? I thought it was the 10th. Is it 11th?
I think it's the 11th, June the 11th.
Okay.
But there's some concern now and some chat that is going on in local circles, social media curtains here,
Mm-hmm.
because the government has announced that there will be a sitting of parliament on the 11th from 10 o'clock.
Oh.
And that is, well, from my quarters, I don't know about yours, that is not being taken too lightly. The argument that hey, it'll be finished in time to allow persons to go, etc., etc. But I think persons are saying, well, it isn't going down well with them because Elimat, what he has done, and because especially it's an official funeral, the government should not have had an event in the morning, notwithstanding it may finish before 12 o'clock when the funeral starts.
Okay. And in that sense, what does the government have to do with Mr. Element?
It's an official funeral. So basically the government
Mm-hmm.
is technically responsible, from my understanding. The only thing different between an official funeral and a state funeral is the military element, etc. And well, and the public half holiday. I haven't heard anything about a public half holiday, so I don't think it's going to be a public half holiday,
Nah.
and which is reserved for
National heroes?
well, what the word is the state funeral.
Okay.
You get a public half holiday, etc. But I think it's the echoes and optics of it. And for me, I'm only a co-host on Island, but people calling me, people meeting me, and they bombarding me like I had anything to do with it, Cartensi. I don't know, I can't understand what's happening.
You mean with the parliament?
Yes.
But is it because there's many questions? I don't think they would just put up a parliament not to want to be there on time. Maybe it's the I don't know how parliament runs, so I can't speak on their behalf, but maybe it's the time, let's say it's just the time to have parliament, and as they say, they will, we know parliament sometimes go into the night. I was shocked. I didn't know it could go all the way down to the evening.
They normally do that, especially with budgets. But the questions I am asked, could it not have been done today, Tuesday, tomorrow, Wednesday, or even on Friday?
Oh, you mean they themselves change it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
And persons are thinking that because of the, well, I don't know if there's a public outcry because, like I said, I don't know what is happening out there. But what I am in direct contact is that they may very well change it. I don't know how and if and when the legalities of it in changing it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But
Okay.
we'll just have to wait and see. And, that's something, I've never been to a sitting of parliament, I always say I'll need to go to one of these days. But I've never ever been there.
I didn't even know regular people could have gone into
Yes,
parliament.
you
I
can go and
didn't
sit in the
know.
gallery.
Yeah, but do you have to stay in there for the entire
No, you
thing?
don't. You don't. You go on, I believe.
Oh, so you put up your hand like you're in church when you're ready to leave?
I don't think so. I think you could just go and take a seat if any available and you leave when you're ready. So I don't know. But that is Parliament. Once ago, we never used to have it way back when. So far, as fast and furious. But it's almost
Maybe
every
things
month.
happening because remember we saw pictures with the prime minister and the premier and the prime minister signing things and we still don't know what the prime minister signed. So
Mm.
yeah. Hmm.
So you're talking about SSD?
I don't know. As I say, I don't know what he signed. It could have been for the geothermal.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been for the airport. It could have been for the seasoning. Yeah.
Expansion of the water program.
It could have been for everything, but we don't know.
Well,
Nobody told us, so maybe they're going to tell us at Parliament.
Mm.
And as we speak about Parliament and parties, when I got home yesterday, I saw this in my windshield. And then last night, I realized they had a meeting with constituency number 1. And as I
They as in who?
the One Federal Alliance,
Oh, OFA,
Driving
OFA.
Progress Together We Rise. So they had their community connect tour in the East Bastille last night. It said the June 4th. That when I saw it, I said, "Who put this in my car? June 4th is gone." And they basically introduce themselves. So this little pamphlet says who we are. The One Federal Alliance believe the strength of St. Kitts and Nevis is found in its people. We are not separated pieces of a nation. We are threads of one fabric woven together. For us, democracy is more than elections. It is about inclusion, dignity, and shared destiny. We exist to bring people together, heal divisions, and open a new path forward. Their mission is to bring the people of St. Kitts and Nevis together under one purpose, building a fair, strong, and united country. They said we want every voice to be heard, every community to be respected, and every citizen to feel they belong. Said progress is not something leaders can deliver alone. It is something we achieve side by side with the people. That is why we are here in East Bastille to listen, to share, and to reason together. The Community Connect Tour is your space to speak, to shape ideas, and to help chart the future of our nation. I heard them saying last night, in terms of preparing their manifesto, they want to know what the people want. What would the people like? And then thereafter, they'll prepare a manifesto. What do you think of that, Biff?
Seems like a good idea. And now that you mention it, most times the parties come up with their ideas. Well, maybe they do a little backroom
research.
backroom research. But being open and forthright with this, say, hey, you come and tell us what we want, what you want, and we'll build our manifesto from that. That seems a good idea to me.
And then they said, so when it doesn't happen, the people can hold their feet to the fire. They didn't reveal who their candidates are, but they said they have candidates for all 11 constituency.
All 11, Nevis
Yeah.
too. Wow, okay.
Nevis too. Listen, you don't see One Alliance is the bat and the ball.
One
or
federal.
the drumstick and the Johnny cake.
One federal.
Yeah,
okay,
one federal. Yes.
So they have,
St. Kitts and Nevis, or as people say, SK and Nevis. Yeah,
Nevis.
so everybody's in it. So, and they said we see a St. Kitts and Nevis where everyone feels represented and respected, no matter your age, gender, faith, heritage, or where you live. We see a nation rising together, embracing diversity as our greatest strength, and building a future for fairness, opportunity, and shared prosperity. So, yeah. So the One Federal Alliance, it has launched, as everybody know, or as we normally say around these parts. But I don't understand why we call it silly season, though.
I guess because a lot of silly things are said and people behave in a silly manner.
And a lot of people are saying that a couple of the people I heard last night, let me rephrase my words, was saying they're tired of the old thing. Yeah. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good morning, sir.
Fine. Yes. The One Federal Alliance, it is indeed it's a breath of fresh air in that it removes itself from the murky world of our politics as they are. We're too, I think, set in our ways, doing things as we've always done them, not shaking things up, and so something new on the scene is welcome, whether or not they can make an impact on the upcoming elections is another matter. You just mentioned the fact that we have in House of Assembly meeting soon,
Yeah.
and even that has driven speculation of an early announcement of elections.
I didn't look at it that way.
I didn't even think of that part, Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Because, well, I guess because of the shortness of the meeting that might take place.
Okay.
But anything out of the norm right now is going to be construed as centering around elections. Okay, I think we're that close now. Right? As to that meeting with the Premier and the Prime Minister, I do not understand why the people's business should be so secret.
But maybe it's not secret. Maybe they just didn't want to tell us then. Maybe they're going to tell us on Thursday. What you think?
You're giving them the benefit of the doubt. Okay,
That's right.
Let's see what happens on Thursday. But I would have hoped that one of the things that they would have discussed, and it might be wishful thinking on my part, is how can we explain governing for all this time without something as important as a public accounts committee, right? What explanation can they give for that? Right, both of them on both islands, right? Because that is an essential instrument in a parliamentary democracy, right? And they seem to just gloss over it as if it's no big deal, when in fact it is, because it goes to the root of how government account for and spends and accounts for the public money, taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
Right? And so I would have hoped that would have been part of the discussions, but again, we'll never know. Okay? And one other thing I'd like to couldn't call in yesterday. I think you all had technical problems. There was this mention that this big talk about AI, for instance, and the young people are not included. That is true, but it's always very fashionable to talk about including young people. But there's another aspect to this which I think is even more important at this stage. The fact that it's being driven by people with enormous wealth. I mean, Musk, for instance, is supposed to be the world's first trillionaire. And I saw a program which said we have to wrap our minds around that. The fact that one man can have more money than the GDP of a lot of, I don't know most, but certainly a lot of countries, is wielding an inordinate amount of power, and it should not be concentrated in one man's hand. Okay, and that's something I guess we're not looking at. Looking at what system produces some skewed thing like that. Okay, where one man can have $1 trillion. What? You know how much of an impact that can make on the world. And so when you have a group of these ultra-rich people controlling what seems to be the future of the world, AI and the technologies that it produces and going to implement, that's essentially changing the governance of the world in ways that I don't think we've thought about. Okay, the impact of that much wealth on the world generally, let alone individual countries. And so I just thought I'd introduce that because, like I said, yes, it's easy to go and say, well, the young people need to be included in this and get their ideas and so on. But the movers and shakers, the people who going to make the decision.
Yeah.
Those are the ones we should watch.
Hmm.
Okay then.
All right. Thank you so much for your observations and your comments on this morning show, Mr. McMahon. Before next thing that came up before we go to, we're gonna do a rebroadcast of Weekly Dose, right?
I don't think we're going to do that. So maybe we could stick in a little element thing in there as we have done for the past few days last week.
Oh, okay, no problem. But before we go to that, last night it was mentioned that the education system, it was promised that it should be revamped, right? So I am wondering because what I grasped from it is that some of the subjects that we do are useless, and
I argue that.
basically we should get rid of the basically the colonial educational system and get our own. Now, with you being a teacher, and I should have asked Mr. McMahon this question, what subjects do you think, because everything last night that this party talked about was empowering the people. So someone asked about low-income houses and the cost and how the average low-income salary is $2,000. They calculated if you have to pay $800 a month, that leaves you with 12. Then you have 2 children. You have the electricity bill, the water bill. You know those bills are going to continue to be in
Telephone.
circulation.
Mm-hmm.
So how does one survive? And I think the answer was, I don't remember all the words, but we are going to empower you so you would be able to build your own house. But then, as I said, these persons that attended last and they were on point. They were like, we don't produce steel, we don't produce this, we don't produce that. So how then would you be able to help us in that way to build our own homes? So the young lady that answered also say we have to take this low income out of our mind, but not everybody adapt to learning the way that others do. So what do we do then, and what subjects should we not have in school? Now, I would say we could add civics from the grassroots. Maybe we can fuse principles of business and accounts together. So it could be principle of business and accounts, because you need to know the principle of business in order to, and then you do the accounts once your money start coming in, or before as well. Social studies, I think we should just make it history on a whole and get rid of social studies. Home economics and clothing and textiles stay, because we need skills and we need proper food. Languages, we should incorporate them, especially Spanish right now, because we see the populace is growing. We have some Haitian, so we need French. So we should ensure the kids are doing French and Spanish from preschool. Maths must stay, English must stay. Because somebody was saying, in order to be a construction worker, they tell you they have to do chemistry and all of that. Do you know about that? I am not sure.
Not for construction workers. Chemistry, that's heavy science, going more to doctor and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Because you're studying elements and their reactions.
Okay.
But some years ago, Dwyer Astafan commented that we are doing too many subjects in school. And really before that, I didn't think about that. But when I thought about it after, I said, well, he might be onto something here. And then without hitting new Guyanese, especially in Guyana, we've been hearing people doing 21 subjects and 23 subjects, which for the heck of me, I cannot understand, Cartensia. 23 subjects, that's about almost all the subjects available.
Yeah.
And chances are you're going to only need 5 or 6 of them. What I have been saying is the mathematics, that's necessary and important, even though there's a great dislike for mathematics. Why I believe the algebra part, the x and the y's, people can't relate to it. But I often say, Cartensia, you're doing algebra since you're small, you and your mother. Why, when she gives you $20, she say, go down by the shop, buy $2 bread, buy a tin of milk, and the balance, you buy eggs or cheese.
Yeah.
The balance is X. You don't know how much the milk and assume you don't know how much the milk and the bread gonna cost. So whatever change you get back is X. And if an egg is $1, that's where well, okay, if X represents $5, I mean you're gonna get five eggs. So that is algebra in its simplest sense, which we're doing since we're small.
Yeah.
So mathematics is necessary. History, Caribbean history is necessary, I believe.
So we can mix our social studies.
But
Go ahead. So
okay.
maths.
I agree with a language, a foreign language. You say two, I'm saying one, and I
said
suggest that it be Spanish.
Martinique and Guadeloupe right there,
Yes,
babe.
but we have more Spanish here in our
Yeah, but
country.
why make an excuse? Do two.
Perhaps then that they're tailored for you and your country.
French and Spanish. There
So we
go.
have, well, of course, we're going to have English language,
You must.
literature. When in our day of going school, my day of going school, the literature has evolved now. Back then, yes, they used to read a story or read a poem and ask you questions, but now it's more analytical,
But where does literature fit in?
analyzing, critical thinking. You tear something apart, you're given something and you tear it apart. What if this, what if that? What is it saying? It doesn't necessarily mean it's saying what it is saying, eh? As in calypsos, when you hear calypso, the calypso might say something, but really the meaning is a little under that, not on the surface. So it allows you to step back and think about something in a different light, perhaps thinking not just on the surface or not what you're seeing or hearing. It's a little deeper thinking.
I'm buying literature.
And I think that's the youth have been accused of not being critical thinkers to some extent. So I'm saying again, maths, history, a foreign language, which is Spanish, and literature.
I don't know why you're running from the French, you know. I tell you, we
I
got
passed
neighbors
French in
too
school,
close.
I passed French in school.
And you ain't want to put the French out there. We going for two, French and Spanish.
I believe an art should be in there, music, drama, something in the area of arts, because science proves that people who do arts, the academic level seems to be a little better, a little open up.
Okay.
So I'll say that. I like the idea with the business subject, because
so we're doing principles of business and accounts.
Whatever it is, because
it
you're trying to encourage persons to be entrepreneurs, manage, open up their own business, manage it. And I did mention on a previous program that when my daughter was in grade 4 at Sandy Point Primary School, they started Spanish, and she used to come home and run circles around me with Spanish. I like that idea of doing Spanish or whatever, French from the primary school. And I also mentioned when she was in grade 4, they introduced the business concept, and it was a pilot, I think, again, where they ran the little shop, break time, lunch time, where they sell the sweets and the popcorn and the things like that. And the teacher had oversight, but she allowed them to manage it, set the budget, present reports, which I think is excellent again. So I believe in bending the tree when it is young, cartens here. And so we need to go down to the primary school. As a matter of fact, maybe even down to the preschools, start doing something.
Yeah, I think we should start all the way down there.
Yeah, if you have simple things like hola, hello in preschool, at least they start grasping the concepts, I believe.
What about civics? Because we need to learn. Children need to learn and not think, or would that be too much for them? Like they have to pay taxes, how to work out their taxes, how to fix a car, especially for us ladies, so we don't be too dependent on the gentleman, just in case if we get a flat somewhere, etc., etc.
I don't know. So how many subjects we are up to?
So
7,
we
8?
1, 2, 3, 4, because I keep in French.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we make principle of business and accounts 1, that would be 9. I put drama in there as a subject, because it could be a
arts,
subject.
because it could be music, it could be singing.
So you want to put music, drama,
arts, yeah.
Put that on the arts?
Yeah,
okay.
just arts.
Arts, okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if we put civics as a subject. We have not included the sciences yet. So the sciences would be 10.
Okay, so then...
So 10 is the max.
How we
And
coming
then
up with
it
10,
depends on the sciences, because the sciences are like physics, chemistry, integrated, agricultural. So you see the subjects just keep going down.
We're going to get with 10 cartensia, because if I want to be a doctor, scientist, the maths, yes, physics, chemistry, especially a doctor, biology.
So you see, you done already.
If we have to include that, and if you want to be...
So English not for the doctor?
Yes,
Literature not for the doctor, because you need critical
but they
thinking
need the science. They need sciences, biology, and
So
chemistry.
3 sciences for the doctors.
And if you want to be a lawyer, well, the English and the literature, basically. If you want to be,
So wait, hold up. So the doctors not getting English?
yeah, they have to.
Okay,
Because
I
they have
just
to
want to
write
make
reports.
sure. Okay.
You
So
can't go
just-
talk about I is a doctor.
So wait, so the doctors only should do maths, the 3 sciences, English. Where else you put
Their
there?
business, because they're having their own business.
So principle of business and accounts, yeah, because they need to know how to run their money. Uh-huh. And what you say?
This is harder than I thought it
Oh
was.
boy, you see?
Contents here.
So, because, yeah, we should. After the call, we'll go to a break. Caller, go ahead, you're live on Island T. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to Cortensia Bit from the public.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yeah, how you guys doing today, man?
Good, thanks.
We're blessed, I'm blessed, highly favored, and giving thanks.
Yeah.
What
I'm
about
used
you?
to it. Yeah, pretty good.
Wonderful.
The robotic society, those young kids, the government should think about employing them and putting them to work. They could be in the manufacturing sector of drones, and they need to dedicate a school to those kids, controlled by those kids, and those kids can be teachers, a technical and technology school. This is digital age we're talking about. We see the advancement of technology. We must not be scared of digital. And, you know, the elderly per se, right? We see that these smartphones are running things right now.
Mm-hmm.
The elderly in St. Kitts and Nevis need to be trained to use these smartphones and to interact with the apps. So therefore, the telephone company who's monopolizing the market on the ground and making all that money, they should get involved in training the elderly, especially because the young kids, them, they got it on lock. The elderly who's out of touch, they need to be trained and get caught up with the technology. And whenever someone retires, whether it be private sector or the civil servants or whatever, the cell phone company again should donate a smartphone as a gift when everyone retires and attach a training program to show them how to use these smartphones. Man, there's just so much things to talk about sometimes, man. It ain't funny, bro.
Mm-hmm. But, Paul, in terms of the smartphone, how many persons we have retiring per month, you think, across all sectors? 10, 15, 20? Let's assume it's 10.
Maybe, but I'm not on the ground there to figure that out.
Let's say it's 10 for the example of, I like some of what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
The phones, the elderly using the phones, I think that is sell-off. I like that idea because some of them they didn't grow up in this age, and they're not too familiar, and they still shy away from it. Sometimes you call them, they may only be able to make a call, and some of them can't even send WhatsApp because they just don't know.
Yeah.
But given the phones, I sort of like that idea, but I'm wondering how practical it would be because let's assume 10 persons retire. A smartphone costs what? Decent smartphone costs what?
Depend up to
Here,
$1,000.
not in you up there, Ball, here in St. Kitts.
Yeah,
Couple thousand?
up to $1,000.
$1,000. Let us use $1,000.
Yeah, 1,000.
So that's $10,000 a month. That's $120,000.
Who's paying for that?
That's the other question we're going to come to. Is the company going to donate it, which is $120,000 a year? Are they going to donate that to the elderly program?
Yeah, why not?
But the company's
Because
going to look at
monopolizing the
on the
market.
basis
Could
of
they get-
what? What are they getting
Could they get
back?
the manufacturers, the Samsungs and the whatever, Huey or whatever,
to sponsor them 10
to
free
sponsor
phones
those
a month?
programs?
A partnership might work, even with the manufacturer or the government.
Yes. Well, you might be onto something here, you know.
But the logistics
And-
of it, because then
And
they might look and say these people, although they might teach them, they may not use their phones as much. They may be
They
busy
might give it
doing
away
a lot
too.
of Oh boy. So we have to think about a lot of things.
But we just gotta pique the interest up. We just gotta pique the interest.
Okay.
And like I say, the robotic society, we can't sleep on those young kids,
I
man.
like that bad. I like that bad because the
And
technology,
I'm gonna,
it's not
yeah,
the way of the future, it's the way of now.
I'm gonna call up the Prime Minister again. You know, he said that he was gonna digitalize the departments. A foreign country, I don't remember if it was Taiwan or Singapore or whatever, a company, Germany or someplace that he visited before. He was going to get them into St. Nevis and help them digitalize the departments. I want to hear from the Prime Minister where he's at with that. Is he staying focused? The meeting last week with Mark, with the Premier, the next morning, at least, they should have come to the public and make an announcement and say what they discussed in that meeting instead of being secretive.
They tell the employers what the employees are doing.
Not bringing the transparency is making the public speculate all the time. At least face the public and say what they
30
spoke
seconds,
about.
please, Ball.
Because destiny is a hot topic on the list. It's not good that they made an announcement to have a sitting in the parliament when they've already made a statement that they're gonna, what you said before, that they're gonna put on a state funeral, whatever.
Not state, official.
Yeah. Whatever funeral that is, the government made an announcement, and now here they come back, putting a sitting on the same day. That's not respectful at all. And you know, the place is like in a mess, bro. Nobody wants to do the work. And lastly, let me acknowledge the party that launched last night because I'm saying I'm one of the persons that came on here and encouraged independents to come out. And yes, there was a party that was created, and I was on those type of lines to give the public options. And I'll leave it there. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for your contribution and comments, Burl. And we'll take a short break, and we will be right back. Stay tuned.
Found the sound 98.9 winnfm.
The new Vita Malt bottle is here, and it's returnable. So don't throw it away, bring it back for cash. Return your empties to your local Carib Brewery Depot and distribution trucks in St. Kitts and Nevis. Vita Malt. Enjoy it. Return it. Let's keep St. Kitts and Nevis clean.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Blue Tag Special.
Running May 28th to June 10th.
IGA or Essential Everyday Mac and Cheese, just $2.99. Juicy Juice, $13.99. Langus Cranberry Juice Cocktails, $11.99. Lay's Stack Chips, $8.99. Country Crock Margarine, $11.99. And Culinary Circle Pizza, just $24.99. And now,
our value deals. Essential Everyday Cornflakes, $9.99. Nabisco Chips Ahoy Cookies, $17.99. Almond Almond Deodorant, $8.99. The Colgate Toothpaste, $6.99. Essential Everyday Dressing, $10.99. Essential Everyday Peanuts, $8.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
Campari, Red Passion. Embrace the mix. Full action, this is red passion. Embrace the mix, add Campari, make it turn and twist. Add your chaser in your drink. Campari, red passion, make the nicest mix. Campari.
Campari Red Passion. Embrace the mix. Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
That advert just made me think that in the US you have to be 21 and you must show an ID. But here we are 3 years younger when we can put our first alcohol beverage to our lips. Now we want to change the education system. Should we not change the drinking system too? Because when you go on the strip, sometimes you be like, why these school children out here? Because some of them still look pretty young.
Remember, they are working on changing the age of consent from 16 to 18. And I think I agree with you. I
21.
think everything should be 18.
Everything should be 18?
Set the age of consent, when you could vote, when you could buy alcohol.
21.
21. So the age of consent should be 21.
21, yes. Wait your turn. Do something good with your life.
21, you're nearly an old man.
How? How? You just
21 is a lot of years.
21 is not no lot of years.
Once ago, I think you had to be 21 to vote. So
and that could still imply too. Why you forcing young people to make decisions so early? Let it get a break, man. Let it understand how life go.
Thing. We have a caller, Cortez.
Oh my gosh, 21. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. Hello, caller. Okay, while we wait for that caller, I saw some videos and condolences over there to the folks in the Philippines. I see at least 32 dead after major earthquake strikes southern Philippines. I saw the earthquake strength was 7.8. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
How are you?
No, I'm good. How are you guys this morning?
Good, thanks.
I'm busy. I am so busy. I'm tired. Morning just open, but I'm tired. I'm busy.
Oh,
I have convocation this week at church. I'm busy cooking and baking. Tired.
Oh, okay.
No, I've been listening while I'm driving. Girl, we're talking about giving the elderly phone and teaching them stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And giving, he's talking about other things giving, like the man said yesterday, we have this concept of we want everything free. Give.
Yeah.
The man is so right. I mean, yes, and you want to teach the elderly, have a center. We have so many community centers that close up at daytime, wasting, doing nothing. Put computers in there. And let the elderly go in the daytime, let them go learn computers or do something.
But they have the daycare. I don't know what it entails, but they have the daycare where they can learn things at.
In some areas.
Okay. And the thing about the subjects, a lot of subjects, look me, a lot of subjects. I have my daughter-in-law, right? She has so much degrees, right? That when she go apply for a job, she can't get a job.
That I hear about all the time.
They tell us she overqualified.
Oh boy. So, but then you have to have some kind of qualifications to move around in today's world. I never understand why they tell people they overqualify.
Yeah, they tell her she overqualified because she got so much degree. She got more degree than the weatherman. Okay, and she overqualified. And this thing about the lot of subjects, when you realize nowadays, like I was listening to the news, the college kids them here in America, they come out, they graduate, can't find a job.
Boy.
Jobs scarce. As we would say, like money,
Yeah.
Can't get a job. And the thing is, as they graduate, what you think coming? Student loan. You got to go pay back your student loan. If you don't have a job, how are you going to pay back the student loan?
Yeah, but then society tells us that we must go to school in order to get a proper job. But then when you're done, the disappointing things for most person is the job's not there for you. So why did they tell you this is what you have to do in the first place to get to where you need to get? That's why some people are just good with their hands and they don't need to go.
But sometimes it's better to get a trade.
Yeah.
It's better to just get a trade because right now, like the person was saying on the news on yesterday, is AI taking over everything.
Yeah.
So this college students and they said when you apply, it's not a physical person looking at your application. AI is viewing your application and tossing it out, just tossing it out. So it's not even a physical person looking at your application
Wow.
and
See,
thinking it's AI. So AI is thinking and it's like you're not good enough. It's throwing you out.
wow.
It's so difficult.
Oh boy.
But in any case, I'm speaking of the AI. Did you see the video where what his name? Oh gosh, I forget his name. Gates. Where they're talking about putting the chip in the brain. He had this brain chip, and he was bold enough to say they're gonna release the beast.
The mark of the beast.
Are we gonna release? Yes, we're gonna release the beast.
Oh boy.
And this brain, you see all these computer chips and all these things, what we're so fascinated by? Listen, it's going to be man downfall, man destruction. The man was bold enough to say they're going to release the beast. And this thing, this chip what they're putting in your brain controls you. They can control you. I was watching a piece where they even show you even your smart vehicle. We like to talk about smart this, smart that. So you know a lot of these smart vehicles we buy in. Anytime somebody could control it and shut it off while you're driving, you have cameras in there where they look at your look at your eyes. Imagine you crying and your eye is swollen. The camera could decide you're drunk and shut off your car. Your car can't move.
What?
Yes, these smart things, we fascinated with them. They're smart, not knowing these people coming in your life and you don't know they're in your life. They're controlling you. And before you don't know it. You know me, my TV in my bedroom, I put something over it.
Oh boy.
my husband has said, you're too much.
Making sure they're not spying on you while you're sleeping, right?
Yes. TV, I don't know what they're doing.
Exactly, girl. Exactly.
Because I heard a thing where actually somebody on the computer viewed somebody in the house and literally blackmailing them.
Oh wow.
Never enter the house. They just come to your TV, come to your device, and they started blackmailing the woman. Listen, one more thing before I go. Cartel said, did you see the video in Guyana with the three students beating up on one student?
You mean the one where they're in the sea?
Well, I saw not that one. I saw that one.
No, I didn't
But
see the
this
other one
was
then. I'll have to look.
This one, oh my God, you gotta look. This one was 3 schoolgirls.
Wow.
2 of them. And one girl, sometimes here, they kicked the child all in her head. They kicked.
Wow.
What is wrong with this generation when we were going up and we fight?
Exactly, standing up. Yeah.
These here fight to kill.
Yeah, the vicious.
Cripple you.
Wow. That is sad
I have
indeed.
to give you the video.
Yeah.
You see how they do that poor little schoolgirl. And all of them in their uniform.
You see this
Kick her in her
nonsense?
head and beat her up. And what made me angry is that you had some boys hanging out there. And they all putting them on fighting. So when they kicked the little girl in her head, and when the little girl stopped move on the ground, hear them stop. After the child can't move.
Wow. Oh, wow. See, we're
That's
some
when everybody.
There's some vicious
That's
people
when
in this
everybody
world.
wants to say stop.
Oh, wow.
You gotta go to fight. Anyway, let someone else call in.
All right. Thank you, Cleo.
And what's with like these you females fighting?
And this is why I don't understand. And I saw a video, I think, early this morning. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T, where they were fighting in the river, but these kids sound Trinidadian. And it's a bunch of them on one person. And this is why I don't understand. Caller, go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning, Katense here. Good morning, Biff.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Katense, it's an interesting topic raised just now. Let me turn my...
You could turn your radio down, please.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
Some Trinidadian. And
but the females these days a lot of fight.
Listen, You see this thing about school and education moving forward? I think when a child go into kindergarten, I think from then on they should be introduced to mathematics, English, how to speak and pronunciation, and the grammar. So we have mathematics, we have English, history of our country, and geography. Then moving up to higher standard, they should be start to learn, introduced to skills, because skills work, and skills it come with the theory. And you got to look at the country that you're living in, what is needed to be a contributor to the infrastructure. And you got to look at, hopefully they might get a chance to go overseas. And we have an idea of what is overseas that you have to tune yourself into. But skills, whether it's carpentry, mason construction, so to speak, joinery, and anything. Learn to contribute those kind of contribution to your country. Because to build a country, you need these people. But a man just full of 50 subjects, where did they get time to learn skills? So what is it good for skills and can't do the practical? I think practical will make you more a man to contribute. Because I'm gonna give you an example of me. I actually learned to do math. I learned to speak English, and I improve on my English. I communicate very well with people. And leaving the Federation, before I leave the Federation, I was introduced to land surveying. That's a skill. I didn't went to the engineering school. And I was very good from learning from my bosses and those who I was working with. And I became to do the job. And I left St. Kitts. It did me well out here. And then I got into auto mechanics. I went to a business school. I learned travel. I learned the travel and tourism. I know all the countries and all the airport codes. I learned American Airlines System, Sabre. I did TWA system, Data 2. I learned I'm full with a lot of things that I learned, and it all comes from skill. Okay? So I will embrace skills is a must in school. Okay? Some people might not be able to be fruitful and fluent in theory, but they're good at practical.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So I think we got to really change the way we conduct our education system. Okay? Speaking a foreign language, yes, it's good. You know, I learned some Korean, but I didn't went to no school. I learned around the Koreans that I hang around. And definitely, communication is good. Mm-hmm. So skills is what basically need at the end of the day. Learn to use a hammer. Mm-hmm. Learn to do
plumbing, electricity.
Learn to read, write, and reckon. And you could develop from there. Your mind will open up to learn other things. All you have to have is a breakthrough.
Before you go, Carla,
yeah.
Before you slip away, you said something that you learned things from persons you worked with. Suppose you had to go to work for a company. Say Cartensia has a company, and you go to work there, and there's someone there who went to university with a degree. You're just fresh from school. Somebody's there. The two of you working together. And that person is going to say, hey, I spent money to go to university to get my degree, so it's not fair for me to teach you or teach you for free. What are your thoughts on that?
that is selfish because hey, a man should not hold the knowledge from a person who is trying to learn. Everyone has to live, and each one teach one. Yes, you go to a college, you learn some skill in there. It is very vital. I think you should. You don't have to. You're not under any mandatory, but as the how shall I say, the kindness and the empathy. Why you are there in the beginning?
Because chances are, when you went there, somebody with a degree had to teach you or pass on skills to you, ain't it?
But the person who is working the job, he was hired based on yes and put into a position, but you cannot do it alone. You need
teamwork.
You need an apprentice, you need an assistant, and you got to teach your assistant the way you need things done and to develop.
Good point.
I started working out at Elms Associates. Okay?
30 seconds more, please, caller.
Huh?
30 seconds before you wrap up, please.
Yeah. I started chopping bush, clear trenches, okay? And from there, I get a chance to peep on the instrument and see how they do it. I learned to use the theater light and the level. And I was able to get a job when the Southeast Peninsula was building. I was one of the first persons to work on the Southeast Peninsula Road. I look at the Southeast Peninsula Road right now. That's part of my work and my injection, my contribution.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there, caller. We have another caller.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for your input.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I just want to get in.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you, Granny. Go ahead.
Joy and Cotton say good morning.
Morning.
Speaking about the subjects, I don't have too many, but for me, English was one of my favorite. I don't normally always speak proper English. You know, I mostly talk in twang, but whenever I have to write English, it has to be well written, because I hate to hear bad English, and I hate to see it being written. So every time I write, my teachers always come to mind, and I speak of Ingrid Chaldon because I have to represent them. She was a good teacher, and I always like to write proper English. But maths I never like. But I guess as I got older, since I came over here, I tried to go to an adult class, right, to do maths. And I find it so interesting. I used to shun maths in school because, like Charlie said, the algebra, I had no understanding. I was like, what X and Y got to do with maths?
That's why you didn't like the maths.
That's like a piece of cake. You know, when you do the like terms, you combine it. And one of the things for me was functions, where you got like f of x equal. I say, well, how f of x? Why is f of... But then I kind of grasp it, you know, that kind of way. And maths can be simple, because you could solve maths in a different... You don't have to always do it the way the teacher do it. You could come up with your own thing and get the same answer. That's the beauty about maths. Hello?
We're listening.
Yes,
we're listening.
That's the beauty. But anyway, I'm going to switch from that, and I'm going to go to basketball. I don't know how many people. I was watching the game last night, and you know, they were saying Knicks in 4. However, Spurs won the game. Man, the place was orange and blue. People had to go all up to Central Park from far to watch parties, but they said the president was there, so I think that kind of dampened the spirit of the people. So maybe now you might hear that maybe he caused them to lose. But I read online after the game, and I find it so funny. They say Spurs stopped the party at the Garden. But I don't think nothing come easy. Maybe Knicks might, who knows, I could still win, because they're 2 up. But as long as Spurs win on this home court, like Dennis Richards delayed, I think he had sing a song, a ding dong. I think they say he's going to bury Friday too, but he's going to be a ding-dong. If Spurs win Wednesday night, he's going to be a ding-dong. I think he's going to be an easy walkover. So the Knicks done had the boom and everything. You know, you see them down Madison Square with the boom. But
for clean sweep?
It wasn't going to be a sweep, but they could still win,
Yeah.
I mean,
this just shows them that, you know, sometimes you need to bring people back down to earth. Maybe what they thought would have been easy.
You 1973.
Yeah, the Spurs were working
but
behind the scenes to beat them last night.
I think Spurs gonna be a good competitor.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't think it can be an easy walkover. And I sure the city kind of disappointed this morning.
Yeah.
They was hoping that they will go back Wednesday, but we'll see. But I think that's all I had to contribute.
But before you go, Gwyneth, I think when fans go, yes, they're back in their team, but they expect to see a good game. They expect to see a good competition. Of course, the organizers would like it to go to 7.
Of course,
to make money.
Money, yep.
They really want it, and in any 4, you hear, how much they say was for a ticket? If you're courtside, right, like where you go almost touch the players,
yeah.
They say it was 6 figures. That's what I heard. But then they said that it was like only 9,000-10,000. Imagine that. That's
wow.
3 months of rent for some people.
Wow.
And some people gonna go with their family because I guess people up here kind of got money. So imagine that. But I tell you, I was in Manhattan last Monday, right? And I said, wait, it wasn't, the game didn't even start yet. There was, and the amount of people, I said, this looked like New Year's Day. And you could imagine last night.
Yeah.
But because the president attending last night,
oh, gosh.
and I'm sure they're going to blame it on him. They don't blame it on the way. They're going to stay.
I heard them talking about him getting booed this morning.
Yeah, because it was, it kind of dampened the mood because they had to move from 34th, and a lot of security. I think they block off must be 5 avenues. So where they would have been surrounded around the garden, they had to go to Bryant Park and 110. And, and to me, the atmosphere never electric. You could see, because, what's your name? I'm going to wrap up now. Spurs was leading, I think in the second half they had 1 lead, then it was 57. Spurs had 57, then 64. And then, they had a tie, coming down to the last, but it was only 6 seconds by. I know they left disappointed, but, it is what it is. And that's why a competition about. Nothing come easy.
Before you run, Gwyneth, did you hear any reaction to the president, was how the crowd treated the president?
Well, I think one of the players had said something to the effect he killing the, he's sorry for the fans.
He killed the spirit.
He would have taken away with the president being
the security.
Because they had those big monitors outside the garden so people could watch, the watch party. But I know they left disappointed.
Did you hear anything about the booing of the president?
I think they said they was going to do it. It was expected, but
I saw a video with that happening.
But I believe so they did because he kind of, it was the moment. I know he's a New Yorker, but it was for the fans from 73. You ain't win a championship, and now, know how they're going to react. I'm going to see, because every day I go to work, it's pure orange and blue. They got the sneakers, everything orange and blue.
And then I saw something else on that scene where they have rats dressed up in Nick's uniform too. What are they trying to say? New York is full of rats?
Wow.
Spike Lee and all look like he was disappointed because,
he's a Knicks fan, yeah.
But, he's going to be there. But I would like to see a ding-dong. I just don't want, you want it, you got to work for it.
Yeah, exactly.
But, of course, I come back to New York because this is where I be right now.
Oh,
okay. Thank you,
Thank you, Gwyneth. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island Tea. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Cotton. Say again. Very interesting to see that what played out at MSG last night. I'm happy someone mentioned the president being present. It's amazing to see how we confuse politics with sports. And Biff, you can relate to this, right?
Yes, sir.
At the end of the day, politics should be like and could be like sports. At the end of the day, we should still exhibit sportsmanship.
Correct.
And one thing I can say I could admire about, the game scene in the United States, at the end of each game, win or lose, just look and see how the players how they exhibit sportsmanship with each other. Very outstanding, man. I must commend them for that. And the overarching effect last night, or the underlining effect, is, like I said, I'm fusing the politics of the president being there, trying to take the spotlight. But what was so overwhelming last night, Biff, is in this country, the people will show you how to feel about you and your performance. It's amazing to see how much booze that he got last night. I tell you, you need to check that out. I know you probably like to hear what you see and would like to see what you see. I like to hear what you hear. It's amazing, man. Let these youngsters enjoy their selves, enjoy the game.
But the president, and I'm not trying to defend him, he's a human being just like you and I. He is, he's based in New York. So is it that he really went there from a political angle or just from...
I know where you're going with this, Biff. I know where you're going with this. And I'm going to accept that. I'm going to take a half a step back, and I'm going to accept that. But the tickets prices are driven up.
Yes.
The security breach, he created like a bigger security situation.
Correct.
And that security, right, we've seen in recent months that even the security forces for him, they're having a hard time. They've been penetrated several times.
But yes, they had two attempts at him.
They gotta be careful with that, not to create a bigger security threat than necessary. But like you're saying now, and I accept that, yes, he's a human being and he wants to see the game live in person. And I can respect that. I respect your comment where you have gone with that. Yes, he's a human being and he's a New Yorker and he wants to see the game live like everybody else. But still, I'm going to throw back one thing at you and then I'm going to leave that there. The fact that the ticket prices are skied up and the average man can't buy a ticket, just like that will happen with the upcoming soccer World Cup. But if the Spurs, that game last night was a must-win, and I'm happy the Spurs pulled that off. Now we can see where the series is going to go, because if the Spurs win the next game, like Gwen, the lady that just spoke, it's going to become a real series. The Spurs win the next game and even up the series. So the Knicks are up 2-1 now. If the Spurs win the next game, then it becomes a real series now. And then let me just know that these basketball players are the best in the world. And if the Spurs even up the series, then we're going to have a real series, and then we will see who will come out victorious. But great game by Wemby last night, and they stopped the celebration last night. I'm not up in the tri-state anymore, Biff, but I'm a tri-state man.
Okay.
Spent most of my time in the USA in New Jersey, but still, I like to see a good game and a good series. Yes, if I was up in the tri-state still, I might root for New York, but being that I've moved away from the tri-state, I'm not really there like that. I just want to see a good series, and I'm happy the Spurs pulled that game last night, and we look towards game 4. And don't forget.
When is game 4?
I think in 2 days or something. I'm not sure. I didn't get that clearly. Maybe normally it would be in the next, not tonight, but maybe tomorrow night. And we look forward also to the World Cup soccer. And let me just make one last comment, and I'll get off. With the World Cup soccer coming up, we got to keep our eyes on Haiti, Senegal, and Brazil. Definitely is going to try to come back and make a statement and try to recapture the championship. But in Brazil locally, there's some conversation about Neymar being called up, and we're just going to watch his performance because he was injured, and he's been going through it with some injury. And also, I think there is like 2 star players down there in Brazil that we got that has been mentioned on the local scenes. I don't know if they were called up, but there's a former Brazilian player who's objecting to Neymar being called up because he's saying that Neymar is trying to pad up his stats by playing against teams that he can score easily on. And, that's something to keep your eyes on. But we look forward to the soccer games coming up, and I think the games are going to open up June 11th in Mexico City.
Okay.
And I'll leave that there.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
You
boy.
guys have a good day. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning.
The Hortensia, the prices, Ball is saying the prices were high, perhaps because the president attended. Maybe it may be the case, it may not. I don't know how much in advance, they knew that he would have been attending because these tickets would have gone on sale sometime. But the World Cup tickets for the football, it starts next week, the 11th. And no, that's not next week. That's this week, Thursday. The 11th.
Yeah, Thursday.
The 11th. 48 countries, 104 matches. And the Senegalese team, I'm seeing an article that they were searched on the tarmac.
Oh.
They had to search their luggage, everything, not the courtesy of doing that inside. If that is the case, that was really sad. It was mentioned that that happened to another team, and a referee from Somali. We know the Somali and the Pirates and all of that. But this referee, he was the African Referee of the Year. In the whole of Africa, he's the #1 referee, so he was selected to go to the World Cup. But he has not been granted a visa, so he can't go. Unfortunately.
A lot of people not getting a visa. A lot of fans are not getting a visa.
And this World Cup is hotels balling out that the low occupancy, people cancelling, and the fans, countries, and when you hear about fans from countries, you're talking about thousands of people going, saving 4 years since the last World Cup, they're saving in case the team go to this World Cup. And there have been issues.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning. Okay, we lost that caller on the regional scene. I see you. Prime Minister Gaston Brown has revealed that Elon Musk, the billionaire and entrepreneur behind Tesla, SpaceX, billionaire,
who will be the first,
has expressed interest, maybe him, in attending the Commonwealth Business Forum during the CHOGM 2026 in Antigua and Barbuda. We have a caller. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T.
Yes. Listening to Biff, I can understand exactly why people can justify just about any number of subjects being taught. Right? If you can justify English lit, you can justify just about anything. But there's hope in the sense that I listened to Mayor Motley a few days ago, who said there's actually a working committee that is supposed to be looking into this from a regional perspective.
You mean the subjects start in school?
The subjects, the curriculum in school.
Okay.
Because, you definitely have to have some kind of core curriculum that is needed for today.
Okay.
Right? And I suspect it would include math and English. Those are obvious.
Yes.
But also some kind of science, technologies / skills training, and languages, and some languages / arts. Okay, we can't leave out the arts because you see, I think the object at school level should be trying to make kids gravitate to their particular aptitude. Some people gravitate to different things, and that's what you're trying to find there, as well as make sure that they are adaptable to lifelong learning, because it's not like once ago where you learn something and you're going to work in that industry forever and ever. That does not happen now. It's not going to happen, especially with AI. So, sure, we concentrate on AI, but can you actually say, even though so many people use phones and so on, can you really say that they're using them properly?
Yeah.
Probably use them more for entertainment than anything else.
Using the features.
Yes, than they're being actually really functional. And that is not what we really want. Okay, sure, that has part of that has its place. But that's not the prime. I think should be the prime purpose.
So, Mr. McMahon, let me ask you: being a former teacher, with this call to revamp the educational system or move away from that of the British system that we employ, what subjects, I know you mentioned some, but what would you change about it, and what subjects would you make mandatory? And should people, when they decide what they want to be, let's say a doctor, architect, a construction worker, should they be placed in the required classes for it and not continue along the same vein of education as we did?
Well, the problem is things like science and technology and skills training those are extremely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so you don't want to start them too early. All right, what you want is probably give people a taster, so that later on they kind of know what to gravitate towards. But it's a waste, really, trying to have too many of those kinds of very expensive things to train early on, because most people probably won't use it. A lot of people probably won't use it. So the constant. I mean, you got to teach your English and your math.
Yes.
I mean, can you imagine going to an airport and not knowing how to read and count? It's impossible, right? Any modern airport. You must have that. The thing that languages do, and I know you said French, any language I would think, is offer that human connection.
Yeah.
Because yes, you can have AI translators, sure, but it does not give you that human touch.
Exactly. If you hear that.
Any art subject, you need to feel human. You don't want the machines. You don't want AI to dehumanize us.
Yeah.
So it's very important that we teach. Somehow we're going to have in that core curriculum something that teaches us to maintain our humanity, and it's not just we don't want to become like the machines. Okay, I don't think that would be. I think we'll be failing if we do that. I mean, I did my first AI seminar last night.
Oh wow!
Congrats! Congrats!
Yeah, and because everybody talks about AI, but I don't think we really understand, and that was good about that seminar. It really taught you what the possibilities are. Okay, it's not just a buzzword, right? It shows you the limitations and possibilities, and I think that's good. I think it's really necessary for anybody at any age, and that's why I was saying that teaching those core subjects in the beginning, one of the aims should be to encourage lifelong learning and adaptability.
Mm-hmm.
You can't learn everything in that short span of your school years, primary and high school years. Okay?
Can you not? Because some of them prove that they can, because with the 23 and the 22, with 22 ones and a 2, that's exponential.
Yeah, and then they end up doing something, I don't know, what is medicine, medicine right now is probably one of those lifelong professions, but the point is, right, most of the workforce now, and that's the struggle we've been having, that automation kind of displaces workers and then displace them to do what?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is it just shorten the work week and it's more entertainment now? Those are the things we're going to have to look at. And so when you talk about, forgetting about social studies, I think that might become even more important, because it's going to teach people how to cope with the change in... With the change.
You mean social studies?
Huh?
Social studies?
Well, social studies.
Remember I said put that with history. Make it one.
Oh, it wasn't that you were abandoning it.
No,
put it
with history.
Right. Yes, those humanity stuff, I think are going to become increasingly important, because people are not going to know how to cope with all these AI things and robots taking over and doing all kind of tasks that they were accustomed to doing, even thinking for us. So those kinds of things are going to be very important. But like I said, people who are more expert than you and I on this, on the regional scene, and hopefully they come up with something.
Okay.
That,
before you
benefit all
before you go, Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
When I was going to school, I don't know if we were told, I think we were basically told that by third form, we had to decide what we wanted to be. And it made sense, because that is where you start choosing subjects. You had options. Physics in a pool with French and maybe woodwork, I don't know. And you had to choose one. So I knew in third form I wanted to be a medical doctor. So I did physics, chemistry, biology, maths, along with the other compulsory subjects. And I only did 7 subjects at Sandy Point High. Apart from maths compulsory, English compulsory, history compulsory, I did French, biology, chemistry, and physics. But persons at Bastille High, at that time when we were doing 7 at Sandy Point, and I think 7 at Keon, they were doing like 9 or 11, which I thought was unfair. I thought again that it was unfair that only Bastille High was doing metalwork in the country. I don't know how it is now. But I knew in 3rd form, so I chose my subjects. But when you hear people in 5th form telling you they don't know what they want to be in life, what is your take on that?
I don't think that's critical, like I said. You know something? I remember growing up with people when I was in school, in 6th form actually, people who did the arts, like English and history and those subjects, and they end up going to do medicine. So the important thing was not the specialization lower down, right? It obviously depended on other things because they end up being doing pretty well, even though they didn't do the sciences in the medical field. So that is what I'm saying. We shouldn't concentrate so much on specialization at that level, right? You concentrate on giving people the kind of mindset and so on that at least if later on they want to make a switch, that switch is easier. They can just ride into it. Okay, that I think is more important because even if you go to university, right, let's say 1st degree, you can know you don't. Yes, you come out with more knowledge, but the kind of knowledge that you come out with is not sufficient to equip you for life, so to speak. What is important in that university education, I think, is that it gives you the confidence and the mindset to give you a mindset of success. Mm-hmm. I must be able to achieve something in life because I've gone to that level, right? That is what I think is important about it. Not so much the nitty-gritties of what you've learned, even though in some cases, accounting and so on, I guess, yes, that's important. But it's the mindset it gives you. And that, I think, is what's important. That is why I think most of the countries around here say we want at least one university graduate in every household because it does something for that family, for that household, that that person reaches that level of education.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mr. McMahon. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Interested in the Hortensia.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. I'm glad that he brought that to the fore, so I'll go check it out and see. And keep tabs on it as that is being worked on, as he said, on a regional level. So we'll take a short break here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Building supplies, electrical supplies, furniture, appliances, carpets and tiles. It's the company where you can get it all. All at TDC, home and building depot. From lawn and garden, the TVs and stereos. All at TDC, home and building depot. Come on down, get what you're looking for. It's all at TDC, home and building depot.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Blue Tag Special.
Running May 28th to June 10th.
IGA or Essential Everyday Mac and Cheese, just $2.99. Juicy Juice, $13.99. Langus Cranberry Juice Cocktails, $11.99. Lay's Stack Chips, $8.99. Country Crock Margarine, $11.99. And Culinary Circle Pizza, just $24.99. And now,
our value deals. Essential Everyday Cornflakes, $9.99. Nabisco Chips Ahoy Cookies, $17.99. Almond Yogurt, $8.99. The Colgate Toothpaste, $6.99. Essential Everyday Salad Dressing, $10.99. Essential Everyday Peanuts, $8.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
yourself some kits in Nevis. Check out the Fresh Anointing Revival Services with Prophet Evans Burning, June 7th to the 12th at the Kuno Conference Center, hosted by Divine Proofs International Center Ministries. On Sunday, 4 p.m., Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. daily. For more information, call 664-1694. So join Prophet Evans Burning for Fresh Anointing Revival Services, June 7th to the 12th at the Kuno Conference Center. Don't miss your blessing. Don't miss your fresh anointing.
My faith knew my heart is wrong. What are you doing? She said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. Why?
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
Building supplies, electrical supplies, furniture, appliances, carpets and tiles. It's the company where you can get it all. All at TDC, home and building depot. From lawn and garden, the TVs and stereos. All at TDC, home and building depot. Come on down, get what you're looking for. It's all at TDC, home and building depot.
Back on Island T. It's just about 34 minutes after the hour of 9. And this is just a public announcement. And St. Kitts and Nevis, the countdown is on Saturday, June 20th at the National Heroes Park from 12 p.m. sharp for the return of FroFest, the beauty festival. Shop from amazing vendors, enjoy live beauty and hair demonstrations, the empowerment talk, kids zone, giveaway, food, music, the passion fruit cocktail competition, and so much more. Grab your tickets today from Champions Bar, Bigger Appetite, the Beauty Lab. It's at Chiego Cosmetics, Eclipse Lounge in Nevis, or online via Jadcash. Children 9 and under, enter free. Don't miss the beauty, culture, fashion, and vibes all in one place. So Fro Fest is back once again on the 20th of June at National Heroes Park. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. All right. And as promised, I chose a song from King Elimat, and it says, Time So Hard. And I normally am privileged, or I don't even want a song that way. Okay. I don't really cook, so I eat out a lot. Let me put it that way. Right? Mm-hmm. But yesterday, I decided, boy, my house looking bare, let me go supermarket. And let me tell you, the supermarkets had me looking like a begging. And there was no shame in my game. I'm accustomed to going to the supermarket and just put things in my basket. Yesterday, I had to be watching at what I put in my basket. You don't want to see me run around the supermarket with my calculator in my hand because I'm thinking I have this much money. Let me count. I put this in. This is what this costs. This is what I cost. And I'm like, Jesus, look at what I come to. Times so hard.
That's why you chose
What is
Elimat.
this?
Elimat song dog and all of
Yes.
the work.
Oh my gosh.
Pussy up on Market Street, a laugh after dog.
Oh Lord.
While the rich people in this country getting fat like hog.
Oh,
That's some of the
boy.
lyrics of the song. Eh?
Okay,
Just in
I
case you-
figured
just in
because
case
I don't
you-
know the lyrics, but just the heading just made me choose it. Time so hard, cause boy, this can't be it. This can't be it, because all I see we work, we pay our bills, and we buy a little bit of food, and that's it. We gotta do it all over again. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Yes, good morning to everybody, and greetings once more in Jesus Christ's name, the only Savior of sinners from their sins and from hell, by the gospel only, through faith only. Now, let me say this. Where education is concerned, biblically speaking, that is for the private sector only, be it private schools or homeschooling. But based upon the Bible, education, like so many other things that the government is doing, they are for the private sector only.
Greg,
Everybody can afford to send their children private, Greg.
Where God knows best. I think God knows more than us.
And
that's
parents
what I read
can't
in the
stay home and
Bible.
homeschool. You hear things so hard and you want the children them to not have nothing to eat.
What I read in the Bible.
Yeah, but
nothing could
Greg,
do you have the right interpretation of the Bible, Greg? Because I don't think the Lord will want some people to be educated and some not
just
to be.
exactly.
I just challenge anybody to go to the Bible and check out the
Man,
duties
Greg,
of government.
no, Greg, no. Man.
I think it's within reason, Greg. Everything has to be within reason.
Is what the Bible says what he's settling for. He ain't settling for nothing else.
But some people whose parents can afford to send their children to private school, Greg. We see they go to private school. Greg, come on.
I am not certain at all. I'll have to do some research on that and get back, Greg. Oh,
Greg,
sorry,
come
Greg left.
on.
I don't think the Lord is going to be saying that only some people should be educated and some not. And if you have the money, you send your children to school.
He's saying private sector, nothing in private sector is free.
I don't
Look how
believe
much
so.
private schools we have. Those kids pay money to go to those schools.
I'm really wondering if Greg is not misunderstanding. I give him credit because he keeps pushing what he believes, and nothing is wrong with that.
And I get that, but come on. Education is education, and it's a basic right. And if government intervention ensures that every child can get an education, then it's fair. Why should it have to be in the private hands? Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Greetings and love.
Greetings. How are you?
Hopeful and true, you know. About the item.
Oh, I'm blessed, highly favored, and giving thanks.
I'm okay, thanks.
Yes, sir. You know, man, give thanks around weighing on the reasoning and education, you know what I mean?
Of course, caller.
Yeah. No, I got a different view on it, eh? First, what is education? Could you tell I what it is?
Well, in a nutshell, and Hortensia, she's going to get the exact word, but it's basically teaching others. You may be not specified, qualified or certified in particular areas that others are not. So it's passing on that knowledge to them. Oh, Hortensia is telling me no.
No, because education is the lifelong process of acquiring and transferring knowledge, skills, values, and habits. You
So
don't stop
have to go to
learning.
and you don't have to go to school.
Technically, you do. You do.
Google said it. Well, on a minute, Hortensia. Google said that. That was a Google thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, education comes from the word educate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which you got, I think, they would say it is a Latin word, right? Can't really pronounce it right now, but it means to draw out, right? Because when we born with knowledge, it's just like a seed, right? When you plant a seed, you don't have to add nothing, you know. It come and give you the full thing because it comes with a full data within it to produce that particular food, you know what I mean?
We gotta add a little water and some soil.
Right, the environment must be conducive for that, right? That's what enable that, you know what I mean? So I just see with the human being because you get a youth. The youth is a seed, right?
Yes.
And he come with all the information to be what he was sent here to be. right? But through the education we get within the system, right? Education design, the model of education in the system that we get, because other places that that are different model, but the model we have, we choose to impart, put knowledge in people's head more than help them organize what is in them already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's correct.
And the only reason we're doing it because of the plantation mentality. You want workers. It's just about getting workers to continue working the system, working the plantation.
Oh, boy.
You know what I mean? But true education, right, is when you could discover the interests of the youth, which means there are implications for how a preschool is run. Right? You have to find out the interests of the youth. Every youth come with something they love to do,
Yeah.
Right? So they escape us because we don't got a plan for them. You know what I mean? We want them to be this, we want them to be that, we want them to be all things, you know what I mean?
That's true.
And then we wonder how come the problems them increasing, because we're doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, generation after generation. We're doing the same thing. Now certain places don't educate the youth that way. See? They find out the interest of the youth. And another part where we ignore totally out here is the spiritual side, because man is not just physical, he's spiritual too, so you have to cultivate that side there. And we don't pay no attention to that. We just say, well, religion,
Yeah.
And we just, no.
So the little parts that we did in school, Caller, where we prayed, we had assembly, we sang a few songs and stuff, you don't think that is enough? You think more is needed?
Because when it comes to spirituality, right, it's a different thing to that, the religion thing. Okay, for example, what is done in school is mostly of a Christian design.
Yeah.
Right? So you find like somebody come from, say, India, right? Maybe a Chinese youth.
Yeah.
May not be interested in that because we come from, that is not how.
Yeah, that's not his thing. That's not their religious.
But spiritual principles are the same anywhere you go. So these are the things we got imparting to you, them.
Okay.
Principles, you know what I mean? And cultivate a part there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and education, you see, education, because you see subjects, too many subjects amount in matter.
Yeah.
You want to study 110, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the whole thing is overstanding.
Yeah, and applying.
Right. You see, you got to understand what you about. Know yourself. You have to know yourself and what you're about.
That's
true. The schooling does lose. That is why at the end of you go to the university, and by the time you go to the university, you totally not see nothing again. You know what I mean? Yeah, you go to the schooling, and then, you know what I mean? You say, well, the education is something like a brainwash,
Yeah.
So it's behavior modification. So you're being programmed. You know what I mean? So I feel like if we want to progress, we got to change the model. Change the model. I mean, I talk about changing the amount of subjects. Subjects don't matter. You're going to determine how much subject you are, right? But design a system so that you use what the youth is interested in. If the youth love to fix things, maybe the game ties, you want to take them apart, and so you see, like, maybe you want to be like a mechanical engineer, you know what I mean? You want to understand how, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're feeding them things. You're feeding them things there, you know what I mean? And you're going to get the other subjects then to support that mission, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But you got to know what the interest of the youth is first. That's the first thing we have to do, not just program them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's the contribution. Give thanks.
All right. Thank you so much for your
Thank
contribution.
you very much, Ras. Very
That's
interesting.
so true, because when I look further down at education, I see formal education. It's a structure in institutionalized learning that occurs in recognized school, colleges, and university. It follows a specific curriculum and leads to recognized diplomas or degrees. Non-formal education, organized learning that happens outside the traditional school system, This includes community-based courses, vocational training, workshops, and skill-building programs. Okay, we lost the call line. Informal education, the lifelong day-to-day process by which an individual acquires attitude, values, skills, and knowledge from daily experience, family, and social environments. That is the lifelong education that we get. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Yes, it's me again. My credit had run out.
Okay.
Now let me say this. You say education is free. Nothing the government provides is free. But that is what public schooling, that is what government schooling deceives us in thinking, that what the government gives us is free. Nothing by government is free.
Question. Does the children that go to government school, when the term comes, do their parents go and give the government a specific amount of money?
No, they don't.
Exactly.
But they give them the money, though.
They do pay for certain services, but it is not that lump sum of money that the parents who can afford it have to pay their schools when the term comes.
But it is because government put on a load of taxes why the poor parents can't feed the same children them easily.
Can't what? Can't feed the children?
Can't easily feed the same children them.
But that's how the government provides the school meals.
And so even though the government provide the school meals, okay? Otherwise the parents them can't easily feed the children, including on the weekend.
But Greg, Indian government put on the school meals, right? Is we put on the school meals because we the employer give the government the money to be able to put on the school meal. How about that?
Yeah, but if it wasn't the government doing this, and taxes based upon the Bible were 100% voluntary, parents would have been able to afford much more in feeding the children than what the children are getting now in school meals.
Oh my God.
You see, it's because of these government services and spending why life is so hard to them. Why life is hard. If we were doing things the biblical way, where taxes were 100% voluntary,
it would have been harder, Greg.
You'll be able to bring in things cheaply.
It would have been harder because
100% voluntary. How it would have been cheaper when it's not we controlling the shipping, Greg? Let's think about that part. How would it have been cheaper?
Government taxes because you won't be paying government taxes at the port. So that means now you'll be getting your stuff a whole lot cheaper. Not only that, you won't be paying government to go in business. You won't be paying government a ton load of things that you're paying them now, so you'll be getting much more money in your pocket. And not only that, business people will be able to operate the business much more affordably. So therefore, education, health services, road services, everything will be a whole lot cheaper and better quality.
I don't understand, Greg.
And better quality.
Maybe, well, we obviously won't have the time.
Things free, retain cheaper for the poor?
I think, Greg, we might have to sit down and you convince me, you help me understand your level of thinking, because you're losing me. I'm not at... what you're saying, I believe, is passing over my head. I'm not at that level because I cannot see, Greg, how taxes, if taxes were involuntary, it would have been better because you wouldn't have to pay any taxes, Cartensia wouldn't have to pay any taxes, I wouldn't have to pay any taxes if we had a choice of paying or not paying.
Exactly.
So therefore, the government would not have been getting that money or those monies, whatever you want to call it. So therefore, but then again,
and then who keeps up the social services and who keeps up the country? Who keeps up
the private sector?
The private sector.
The private sector.
At what cost? At what cost?
So Hartford and Tennessee going to say, okay, government, we're going to help. We're going to be responsible for paving the roads. So Hartford or Tennessee or Rams or whatever company.
And who pays them? Where do they get the money to do all these things that they have to do to keep up these social services? We?
Services, you're paying the government for the services.
No. Okay. So we are going to pay the private sector. That's what I'm trying to find out, kind sir.
Yes, of course. It's ain't free. Just like we paying free now.
So what is the problem with us paying the government and it's being subsidized somewhat in some cases, not all cases?
Exactly, Greg. Whether we pay government or pay...
Tell me of a case where government spending is not being used to maintain anything.
Where government spending is not being used to maintain anything?
Being used to maintain anything that it owns.
I don't understand that. I don't quite get that question.
Understand.
Ask that question again for me, Greg.
In other words, everything government owns and take care of and maintain is always a government expense. Subsidized, whatever you call it.
Not a government expense because we pay the taxes, Greg.
Exactly.
They get the monies to do that.
Exactly. So what I'm saying, you either spend it on the private sector or you spend it on government, but you're still spending it. What I'm saying, you'll be getting far better services from the private sector. Your government is more wasted in the government hands and for inferior qualities.
I don't.
You get far better service from the private sector for a price than they have to maintain that price in order for you to come. Not price. They have to maintain that service in order for you to pay that price.
And what I am saying is that the lesser tax, and like I say, voluntary, the cheaper it is for the private sector to maintain it.
So
and
only then you're going to see the private sector going to charge enough money.
Cost onto the customers.
The private sector going to see enough money revolving in this in the country, and they're going to charge according.
Greg,
the people need the service.
Competition will force them to keep the prices
Competition
low.
war. If all of them good, we're going to go by all of them, and they're going to be able to. Go ahead, Biff.
Competitors.
The more bases you have, the harder it is, if not impossible, to collude.
Oh, the more what? Okay, but you agree that competition would collude. All right, Greg. Greg, it's now 5 minutes to. We have to leave it there because we have to wrap up. And
okay, but the Bible is the only answer, and the Bible tells us the duties of government, and these low things that government doing does not come under the biblical duties of government. And the Bible says, do not go beyond what is written in it in 1 Corinthians chapter 4,
okay.
verse 6.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you very much, Greg. Always interesting views, Hortensia. And
I don't know if you're interesting to me, because no man.
Interesting doesn't mean right.
Greg,
it doesn't mean wrong either. But Greg has his views, and if it's one thing
Greg
I really
sticks to his views so much and he doesn't think outside the box. Greg, you did literature in school, bruh.
But hey, that's how Christopher Columbus got his 3 ships. Hortensia.
Doing
his
what?
His consistency in sending. Was the Spanish queen letters that the world is round and I could go east and come back west? And she said, you know what? Get off my case. Take 3 ships and all the worst criminals and rapists and murderers and thieves and go.
No, but we can't. Listen, we are already, most people say, we are already too dependent on government.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do to the private sector again? We're going to have to be dependent on them, but we're going to pay the price because we need the services. Imagine a free port. How that going to look? Who paying the ships to come? Who paying them ships to come here?
I sure Greg will be the first person not to pay.
Who paying them ships to come here?
Not to pay tax. Greg will be the first person not to pay tax.
So Greg going to run on the ship and take off his goods and run back? What's going to happen? How is it going to look, Biff? How is down there going to look with no order? It sometimes look unorderly when you go up to customs, how everybody behaving. Imagine nobody there, Biff.
I am wondering if Greg is not misunderstanding the context and clearly the reality of. I don't know. But anyway, Hortensia, tomorrow, Wednesday, the funeral of the late Tally Simo Davis. And, you know, he was called the Sandy Pointer who was born in McKnight.
Yes, you said
somebody mentioned it, and somebody else said that he was an honorary Sandy Pointer because of the work he did at Sandy Point High School, the years he spent there. And I say without any apology, in my view, he had more interest in Sandy Point and Sandy Point High than a lot of us Sandy Pointers.
A lot of us don't have interest in our own things. I see Pastor Connor put out a message the other day, which is timely. Yesterday on social media, I saw this man in Ghana saying, look, all the Spanish them could find work, yet all these Guyanese in Ghana complaining, no work there. And I say, you see, boy, all of it is the same exact thing. And I bring Guyana in to not only show the brightness that happens over there, but to show that it's the same nonsense everywhere. Because I sure in other countries I can say, we ain't gonna work, but the Jamaicans gonna find work, as Pastor Connor say. The Spanish gonna find work, the Guyanese gonna find work, but we the people can't find no work. Mm-hmm.
On my way here, minutes to 8 this morning, I saw a barber shop already opened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, okay, a barber shop open minutes to 8,
mm-hmm.
and it's not just that; it's the mindset and the person was by the door sitting down, ready to welcome customers. I don't know how many of us. Well, in local.
Because imagine you got an interview, you're heading ready. You could rush in the barber shop and get to the interview for 9 o'clock looking sharp.
That's a good point.
And that's why a lot of people said a lot of our establishments are open now because of the Chinese. Because they open on Sundays.
Exactly.
Even clothing stores now open on Sundays to accommodate whomever want to.
Later in the evening.
Exactly. And all because what? People had to come here and do that. We couldn't see that for ourselves.
Greg would be glad to hear that competition from the Chinese.
Oh, Lord. But listen. Greg, have a good day. That's all I'll say to Greg, yes? Because Greg just like to push my buttons.
It was indeed an interesting conversation, and we just heard that Dennis Richards, that he'll be burying on Friday. That's Friday coming. I haven't seen anything.
Oh, so we have funeral Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wow, and three greats, I would say. Yeah.
Persons of noteworthy. Yeah. Simo Davis on Wednesday, and King Elimat, the late King Elimat,
Thursday
at the Newtown playing field at 12 o'clock. The funeral starts at 1, and just confirming, Tally, he is going to be Wednesday, June the 10th. That's at the Antioch Baptist Church. Viewing and tributes from 1 o'clock, service at 2. And persons are encouraged to wear green. A lot of things, these funerals are themed these days. And
a lot of things are themed.
I don't know what houses he would have been in before Sandy Point High, but he was the housemaster of Greenhouse in Sandy Point High. And he took being in charge of houses to a different level at Sandy Point, because he would have done things and then all the other houses had to follow. And like I mentioned earlier, I was in Red House when I was going to Sandy Point High School. And when we had house fete, everybody used to abandon their house fete after they done eat and drink a little and go to the greenhouse fete for the music and the dancing. Because Tally, he was a DJ, he was sell-off. And then the Friday, according to what we're hearing, the Dennis Richards. And again, condolences on behalf of management, staff, board of directors, and our sponsors here at WinFM 98.9 to all the families, friends, communities, colleagues. It's really tough, Hortensia. Yeah. And we're also thinking about the gentleman who lost his life in hiking. Condolences for his family as well.
His family as well.
And I saw something about a little girl somewhere, Hortensia, Trinidad or someplace.
Yeah, somebody took a next little one's life. I saw a picture with 3 of them that have taken their life, got taken so far. And this young 7-year-old in Guyana, he got his throat slashed as well.
Wow.
I do not understand what is the fascination with taking out the lives of the next generation. That young lady in Trinidad, she was only 12. I mean, what could you see on a 12-year-old? We are living in a wicked, wicked world. And 2, I mean, she was put on a vehicle. I don't know if she was the sole passenger with the driver. And I mean, as adults, when you see that, don't put your children on any vehicle and any empty vehicle with any adult male. I know females can do wicked things too, but please, we have to think. Or go with the child. If it's just 5 minutes by car, go with her. At least she'll get home safe. She was found half naked, face down. Her body looked, as they say, her body was beaten about. Like, it's just disheartening that kids continue to suffer at the hands of grown adults that know better.
Hortensia, the hearts of man
are wicked.
Desperately wicked.
Yep.
And that is sad. King Starshield had a song like that way back when. But it's so true. And really, I'm going to have to shout the words of Greg that we really need to turn to the Almighty with all of this. Boy, it is sad. It's really sad. It is bad when it is adults, but to me it's worse, much worse.
When it's children.
When it's children, man, these guys.
12, the child hardly live.
What a 7-year-old could do?
Boy. I think the 7-year-old probably see who it was. That's why they had to maybe kill him, because the grandmother got stabs, but the 7-year-old throat was slashed.
That is sad, man. Really, really sad. Would we want somebody to do that to our mothers, sisters,
Nobody
daughters?
thinks in that moment. If they thought, they won't do half of the wicked things that we as human beings end up doing.
It's a sad way, but condolences to all the families, Hortensia.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear about the autopsy for that young lady in Trinidad. So condolences to all around the Caribbean. Too much and around the world. Too much is happening. As we make an exit, the St. Kitts and Nevis, the countdown is on Saturday, June 20th at National Heroes Park from 12 p.m. sharp for the return of Frofest, the beauty festival. Shop from amazing vendors, enjoy live beauty and hair demonstrations, the empowerment talk, kids zones, giveaways, food, music, the passion fruit cocktail competition, and so much more. Grab your tickets today from Champions Bar, Bigger Appetite, the Beauty Lab, Chiego Cosmetics, Eclipse Lounge in Nevis, or online via JAD Cash. Children 9 and under enter free. Don't miss the beauty, culture, fashion, and vibes. Beauty, culture, fashion, and vibes all in one place. So that's Frofest on June 20th at National Heroes Park. We know as we get down to those dates, things start heating up in the Federation as we run down to Music Festival. So go out and support the Frofest, June 20th, 12 p.m. sharp at the National Heroes Park. And thank you to all who contributed, tuned in, listen. Even if you're a quiet listener, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. God spare. See you tomorrow, same place, same time on another episode of Island Tea. Have a great day.
Before you want to Tennessee, I'm seeing Aubrey Denise Fredericks from Tennessee. I think that's the first time I'm seeing that person on Facebook. And Dave Levinstone.
No, he's always there. Dave is a usual.
Okay.
Dave is a usual.
Aubrey Denise Fredericks. That's a first timer.
I am not quite sure.
I haven't seen
because I don't get to peruse all of these all the time.
But the usual Gwenny and Cleo, thank you. And again, did I mention you're looking lovely in that your mustard cartensia?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And folks, go on out, wear green, support Tally, who is from McKnight. He has a book. I think is it one book, two books? The McKnight I Knew. And he also has a CD compilation of soft tunes, Kittitian soft tunes. Condolences again. So it was nice being here with you, Cartensia. And we look forward again to having you next time around. Have a wonderful day indeed.
Indeed. So see you tomorrow.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.